When noise becomes structure, the hidden mechanism behind resonance. Something moves inside the noise before it becomes thought. Forms rise, collapse, and rise again, searching for their shape. The disorder is not a mistake, but the ancient ground of creation. Every structure we trust was once a flicker inside the storm. Noise as the engine of misalignment. Noise enters systems long before we notice it. It slips in through expectations, deadlines, abstractions, and the quiet pressure to move faster than understanding allows. This is the kind of noise that does not announce itself. It distorts direction in small, almost invisible steps. In engineering work, noise shows up as scattering. The mind jumps between tasks, frameworks, ideas, and half-shaped assumptions. Attention fractures. Decisions become reactions instead of choices. A simple design grows branches it never needed. A clean path becomes a network of detours. A team is busy, commits are flowing, meetings are full, prototypes appear quickly. But movement without a stable axis is not progress. It is drift. The system grows, but not toward anything in particular. Noise wastes energy in ways that are hard to measure. Engineers rewrite code that did not need rewriting. They chase edge cases that do not matter. They adopt tools because they felt urgent in the moment. They abandon clarity for immediacy. A week later, nobody remembers why the decision was made. Noise pushes us into inefficiency not through chaos, but through subtle misalignment. The architecture expands around assumptions that were never evaluated. Complexity builds around questions that were never asked. The mind becomes occupied by what is nearest rather than by what is necessary. And this is the danger. Noise does not break systems by force. It bends them quietly. Projects do not collapse, they scatter. The energy of the team is spent holding the shape instead of advancing the work. In this sense, noise is not the villain. It is the field that exposes how easily we lose orientation. When depth is absent, noise becomes the dominant force in the system. This is the first half of the truth. Without understanding how noise misleads us, we cannot understand how it enables creation. Noise as the medium of new structure. Yet the same force that scatters us also creates the conditions for something new to form. Noise is not only distortion, it is the raw field where structure begins to appear long before we can name it. Every idea starts as turbulence. Before there is clarity, there is excess. Thoughts collide, collapse, and collide again. What looks like confusion from the outside is often the first stage of formation. Noise is the environment where possibility has room to move. In engineering, noise is the spark behind every shift. The early days of a new tool or pattern always look chaotic. Too many attempts in different directions, overlapping philosophies, competing abstractions. It feels unfocused because it is unfocused. Creation has not yet chosen a shape. Noise is the catalyst, not the vessel, not the source, but the environment that allows the seed of a future pattern to take form. Instability gives life to options. Variation makes selection possible. Without this phase, no system evolves. In human work, noise is the pressure that forces us to rethink. It pushes against old assumptions. It cracks open habits that became invisible. It introduces friction that cannot be ignored. This is not comfort, but it is necessary. Without disruption, nothing grows beyond its inherited design. When we stop treating noise as an error, we see its deeper function. It is the field of raw material. It is the unshaped matter from which structure emerges. It is the tension that wakes the system and forces new directions to appear. This does not make noise good or bad. It makes noise essential. Without it, no transformation begins. The moment disorder becomes direction. There is a moment when chaos begins to gather into itself. The fragments that once scattered in every direction start leaning toward a single motion. The system, still turbulent, begins to hum with a quiet intention. What looked like noise starts to behave like a signal trying to form. This is the rise of resonance. Resonance is not decoration, it is a physical law. When a system is struck at the frequency that matches its inner structure, something extraordinary happens. The system absorbs the force instead of resisting it. Vibration aligns with vibration. Energy amplifies instead of dissipating. The motion grows until the structure reveals its true shape. This is what happens inside thought and inside engineering. When the collisions of ideas, attempts, and failures strike the hidden frequency of a system, everything begins to move as one. What felt random becomes precise. What felt unstable becomes inevitable. The system stops fighting the pressure and starts amplifying it. Resonance is the first real structure. It is the selection that emerges from noise without being commanded. It is the architecture that survives the turbulence because it matches the natural frequency of the problem, the team, the era, the constraints, the mind itself. In physics, resonance can break bridges or tune violins. In engineering, it can break teams or reveal the cleanest path. In consciousness, it can collapse identity or open clarity. The mechanism is always the same: alignment under pressure leading to amplified motion. Noise is what provides the vibration. Depth is what allows us to sense the match. Resonance is the moment where the vibration finds the exact structure it was searching for. Nothing meaningful emerges without this collision. Nothing lasting survives without this alignment. This is the point where disorder stops being a burden and becomes a compass. The turbulence has not gone away, but now it moves with a single direction, a single tone, a single truth. Resonance is not the end of noise. It is the point where noise becomes the order the system was always trying to reach. The long arc of framework chaos. Technology never matures in silence. It grows through eruptions of ideas, competing abstractions, and periods where nothing agrees with anything else. The early web was simple only because there were no alternatives, but once the field opened, the turbulence began. Libraries like Prototype, MooTools, Dojo, UE, XTJs, and jQuery collided in the same space, each offering a different philosophy, each shaping teams in different directions. Engineers rewrote, switched, adapted, and improvised because nothing had settled into a stable form. It felt chaotic, but that chaos was the first stage of alignment. Then came the frameworks: Backbone, Ember, Angular, React, Vue, and others. A storm of mental models. Different beliefs about what state means, how rendering should work, what a component is, what an application is. Teams migrated again, sometimes yearly, sometimes monthly. Some frameworks collapsed under their own weight. Others refined themselves into clarity. Inside that noise, repetition began. Ideas that did not fit the natural frequency of the web disappeared. Those that matched it amplified. React stabilized. Vue matured. Angular transformed. The field narrowed into a clearer shape. But resonance never lasts forever. When the environment shifts, the structure must shift with it. The next turbulence came with meta-frameworks. Next, Nuxt, Remix, Astro, Solid Start. A new wave of routing strategies, rendering models, hydration philosophies, server boundaries, and data flows. Once again, teams felt the scattering. Too many choices, too many visions, too many futures unfolding at once. Yet this was not regression. It was the same evolutionary cycle repeating. And now the generative era is breaking open. Frameworks dissolve into orchestration layers. Code becomes a shaped outcome rather than a handcrafted artifact, and systems begin to behave like adaptive organisms. It feels chaotic because it should. The noise is doing its work again, pushing ideas against each other until a new alignment emerges. The long arc of framework chaos is not a trail of confusion. It is the pattern by which every stable era is born, and every stable era stands only until the next force arrives to crush it, as every cycle must.